Greetings, dear Libra. Welcome to Tipa's Tarot, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. And today we're going to go ahead and take a peek at your springtime reading. The spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere just passed, and it was on March 20th, right? And it's also ushers in the start of the astrological new year, which is Aries, and we're in Aries season right now. And so this, if you think about it in a more metaphysical, spiritual level, right, and even logistically, it kind of makes sense that during the spring equinox, we have an equal daylight and nighttime time of the day, right? So this really signifies balance. So this is a really great time on a spiritual note for us to be really introspective about the seeds that we want to plant, right? Springtime ushers in. That's when we get ready for our harvest, right? Or we get ready at least to seed things, okay? Springtime is great for that. Flowers are blooming, all of that jazz, okay? And it just is a lighter note to the heaviness of the winter time, right? So this is a time for us to really be looking at the ways in which we can kind of balance our lives and set some intentions for what we want to do in the incoming months, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that reading for you. It's going to be a spring equinox reading, and we are using the Brotherhood of Light Egyptian Tarot to pull your cards, okay? Let's just first set the intention. This is for the sign of Libra. If you have Libra in your sun, your moon, or your rising, then it is my sincerest intention that this reading may resonate with you in some capacity and that you're able to receive these messages and apply them to your own life, always and only for your highest good, of course. All right, now let's first look into the energy of this spring equinox. What is the energy for our Libras during this spring? And it is your opposite sign because Libra, you are the opposite of Aries. So let's see how your energy does in opposition to this. So the spring equinox for you. Okay. I see you. I see you being a bit curious during the season. There's really a lot of things to do. You've got the Nine of Wands here. And when we talk about this Wands energy, it's more of just like staying on your grind, keeping your boundaries with people, just like maintaining everything, like, and it could feel a little bit burdensome, right? It's just like you feel maybe a little bit of annoyed of the same old routine, but that's kind of the energy of what you're doing in the spring, okay? But while you're toiling along and you're just like maybe even a little bored, what could really happen here is it gives you the opportunity to really start planning as well, because you're just like, okay, I'm done with the mundaneness of this routine, when whatever that routine is for you, whether it's a job or whatever it is that you're doing every day, okay? I see you kind of using this time in the spring to plan. Two of Wands is all about planning. It's about waiting for the results of things, right? Maybe even planning a trip, who knows? And in the meantime, you're over here, you're doing your research, because this is Page of Swords. That really just talks about this page. Yeah, this is a page. So this is Page of Swords. This is really, it's either a page or a knight. Either way, it really just talks about this energy of you being able to research what you're doing. This is spending time on the internet. This is like, being a little bit curious, okay? Doing your due diligence in the research department. So I see overall the energy of this particular equinox finds you more like a little bit restless, a little bit bored from what you're doing, wanting to really plan to see what the next things are. I don't see you really like being so active in doing something exciting. I see you on planning mode, right? And really utilizing the tools that you have upon you to look further into something. Okay, so you're lying a little bit low. Could be a little bit boring because I know Libras like to have fun. But Libra, every day is not a party. Sometimes we just got to roll up our sleeves and get work done. And yeah, you get in that energy of just, they call it the wounded warrior, where it's just like, oh, how long do I have to do this? Is this movie over yet? Right? It has that energy to it. All right, so next let's look at something that's awakening within you at this time, Libra. Show me something that is awakening within Libra at this time. Show me something awakening. Okay, maybe love. You've got the Ace of Cups here. maybe even a pregnancy. Some of you could be finding out you're pregnant. Some of you could be in the process of having a baby. That does not always have to be it, but I'm seeing a journey here of some sorts. Maybe like around a lot of people. Okay, so let's talk about it. Um, I'm seeing that there's definitely something to do with either a relationship. Ace of Cups talks about a new baby, a new relationship, a new proposal, something that's activating a new heart centered thing that's like with a relationship, perhaps, that's activating your life at this time. That's coming towards you. And it really is. I don't know if there's a journey involved here, like an actual physical trip, because you've got the Six of Swords here. Now that does talk about physical trip, and that could be what you're planning, because we do have you in this energy, right? That Two of Wands talks about planning, and then of course we talked about this card also, which meant researching as well. So I don't know. That could be something very specifically for people, because the Six of Swords does indicate a trip of some sort, like relocating, moving, changing houses, maybe just going on a trip. But it also could, on a like deeper level than that, it could also just look at going from one phase to another. It's like transitioning in your life from one phase to another. And, that happens as a result of something new that's heart centered that's happened to you. And there could be a lot of other people around, like people giving unsolicited advice, their opinion on stuff. Like this is the card when we have the Five of Wands, is like just like rivalries, just having challenges with people, like too many cooks in the kitchen. It has that kind of energy. So I feel that that could be something. You could have people kind of butting into your life, or just trying to like interfere in some unnecessary way. Okay. But with this King of Swords, no kings, when I talk about the knights, the kings, the queens, these are the court cards in tarot. I really talk about them as being, they could really indicate certain people in your life. So this particular energy, King of Swords, this is a gentleman. This is a masculine energy that, is very like intellectual, makes very wise dis, choices. It's very like strategic thinker, okay, on a higher level, really intellectually guided. Okay, this is like a rational being. Okay, who just knows how to make executive decisions that make sense. So that could be a person in your life that's maybe that you've met, that you're starting a connection with. Okay, it could have that energy, or this could be the energy that you are to someone as well. Okay. Libra, you are an air sign, right? And swords do indicate air. So this could very well be your energy as well, that you are coming across as just very like strategic in the moves that you're making right now. Okay. So it could also be that. Take that as you will. When I read tarot in general for people, this is why it's like it's good to have a little bit of interaction to know this is making sense to people, right? And I do tend to have that more working, one-on-one with people when you know them. However, on the internet, it's a little bit difficult. But I would say it's very interesting, because the way that I do understand tarot is very much intricately linked with astrology. And when you understand more about astrology, I'm kind of going on a tangent right now, but when you understand more about astrology, you understand the connection that tarot has with it, not even with all the meanings per card, but also like what is actually happening for your astrological sign. So that's why I say if you're a Libra, sun, moon, rising, those really speak more to like the happenings of what our lives are, like what's happening at this time. And tarot, you will find, will correlate with a lot of astrological happenings that are in that are current, if that makes sense, right? That are happening at this time. So that's kind of the connection between astrology and tarot. But um let's get into the opportunities that are ahead of you. Oh, whoa. That was like, stop talking. Get back to this reading. Okay, what are opportunity? Okay, all right. So, opportunities that are happening for you. I see you stepping definitely more in your divine energy. You've got the strength card here, which really just talks about being having a lot of unconditional self-love, respect for yourself, and just having the audacity, the bravery to be that. And then that is doubled down with this Queen of Wands, Queen of Wands is just that feminine energy of just being so self-assured, so confident, almost to the point where like, who is that chick in the room? Almost to the point of people, you find people mimicking you, or that you're a trendsetter in some point because you're just so confident to be yourself. Why would you want to be anybody else when you can be you? Um, and I think that it caused some exits in your life. Like when you start to hop into this energy, now I do feel like there's something heart centered that does happen with you, where you do step into this energy and you just kind of walk away from things that are no longer like vibrating with you, or no longer like, you just don't really feel the need to be in scenarios with people, jobs, um, or situations, partnerships where things don't feel right. You're ready to kind of leave that behind, because that is what that Eight of Cups really talks about, right? It's leaving behind things, it's withdrawing, it's moving on from stuff, being like, I'm over it. Okay. And I do see you because what I said in the beginning was that there's this energy in the spring here where things are a little tough. Like it's just the same old thing every time, but you really plan your way out of it. There's something very strategic about how you move into this next phase during, and I believe it's somewhere around the springtime. You're gonna like, I feel like there could be a relationship. There's something to do with perhaps a new love of a project. There's something here where you're changing phases, okay? Despite people, naysayers, I do see you compelled to just go in your direction, right? And to be very self-assured in that way. And it just like, the more you make decisions and see things go right in your life, or see things go in the direction that you intended, the more confident you feel in taking on this new steps or taking on this new phase that you're in. You just kind of like walk away from all of the old parts of yourself, the old parts of yourself that felt really bored and a little bit burdened by the daily mundane things of life that were, right? You're kind of ready for a new routine, new life. All right, so how can you allow light? Oops. How can Libras allow light in your life? How can Libras allow light? Mm, okay. So literally the sun. But more importantly, the first thing that came out was this Lover's card. And it says, the question is, how can you allow light into your life? Now, when we talk about the lovers, this is a companionship, a partnership, and a healthy one that where there is a duality, where it's like you are both helping each other out in some way. And it also is lovers, so it's also, there has a, a romantic connotation to it as well. So it's like a deep love. It's like making the choice, like not just being in a relationship, but it's like choosing each other, and like two, everything is better than one, right? That's how the lovers comes across. And so, if you are like, don't, I would say if you are having a new relationship that's blossoming this spring, this is really telling you like it's safe for you to love. There's it levels you up in some way, maybe domestically. So you've got this Queen of Pentacles, right? So this could be you know, you being like more domestic, um, being practical, taking care of the house, and just being that divine energy in your home space, maybe even like decorating your house, redecorating your house in some way. But it's definitely just being very resourceful, right? This talks about domesticity, that feminine energy of the home space. And then you've got the sun, and sun talks about material blessings. Um, just being really satisfied and happy about what the outcome is, right? So this is an overall success. And the sun also illuminates things, right? Like you're actually able to clearly see, right? There was, let there be light, and they saw. Yeah. So that's kind of what I got for you. This all kind of makes sense. Yeah. Let me know if this resonates, Libra. You can comment, like, subscribe, all of that jazz. Send me an email. Do consider booking me for a reading. I have been getting kind of busy recently with some private bookings. So if you like the way that I do tarot and this resonated with you, Feel free to check the links below to see the services that I do provide. I'm quite reasonable, you will find. And let me read you and see what's going on in this ridiculous world that we're living in. So, I love you, dear Libra, and I hope you have a beautiful and safe day wherever you are. Bye.